All right, we'll give it a minute or so and see if anyone else joins. If not, then we'll just carry on. Yeah, apparently. Hi, James. AA, how's it going, man? XDA. All right, we have some people joining now. I'm currently in this IP long right now. I mean, we've got this it's a fairly new listing. I think it just got listed on like spot pairing. But you guys know how I feel about. Wait, Jip, are you recording? Just checking. Appreciate you stopping in, man, to record. There's a few reasons I took this IP long. One is fairly new listing, right? And a lot of the time, I discussed this last week on stream, but a lot of the time with these newer listings, not just newer listings, but coins that wick like this, if it after it wicks, it does like price action sort of like this and just sort of like bleeds out. Oh. Sort of like this and just like bleeds out. A lot of the time you don't see a wick backfill, and that goes for any sort of long scam pump wicks that you get. But you can see in this case, right? We've got like a pretty solid flip of this potential flip of this 4-hour level, which looks really nice. And then also it's like a big gap above. So what we have is the wick on the spot pair, and then also on top of that we also have the perp pair, which is what the trade. So the perp pair as well, we can see it was a bit of like it sort of sold off into the listing, like into the spot listing. It's really bizarre, actually. But there's like this huge gap above, and you guys know how I like to trade these gaps. Like, we have the chance of that we're top blasting it here and that it rolls over and fails to break out. But if you sometimes catch into some of these strong movers early, they can really leg up and fill the gap above. So I took the trade on like the EMAs look good. But EMAs look good. Stop below this 4-hour level and the M30 EMA 21, and like we had like a pretty nice M5 price action, so we took the long on that. And I spotted it through Levitas this morning. So as my usual ritual every morning when I first get on the screen, I go to Orion Terminal and I go to Levitas, and I, especially at the moment, you really want to be looking for outliers in the market, right? Like, you don't want to be trying to long weak coins right now. Like, if anything, you want to be shorting the weaker ones, and if you are longing, you want to more than anything be looking at the outperformers. So when we filter this to like OI change by 1 day, I like by the time I got down here, it got to IP. Which is also how I noticed the S trade yesterday, and how this also popped up. So you can use Levitas, or you can also use Orion for that. And you can also filter to funding. So if you also look at the funding, right, this has super negative funding. So we have like super negative funding and also decent OI change. So there's good potential there for a scam move higher. And then we've got like I just said, we've got the flow looks good, along with now the price action as well, like the chart. When you have like decent bid and such negative funding, you have a potential for like a good old scam move higher. Hi Matt, how's it going? But yeah, so that's my current trade of the day that I've got my eye on, or that we're in. We'll do a little bit of talking about BTC, and then I want to run through my report from last week and sort of highlight some key points and go over some of the report. Next week I'm going to do a full video, so I'll probably try and do like a 10 to 15 minute video on the report. But today I just want to go through and discuss my higher time frame plans. Especially if you didn't read the report, it's even better that I discuss it today. But I just want to go through and talk a little bit about what I wrote there and the outlook, because I don't know, there's a bit of there's a very grey area of like speculating. There's a very grey area of speculating high time frame, speculating like price targets, especially on things like altcoins. I think Bitcoin is one of, or if not the only crypto that I think you can comfortably speculate like future price action on, given the history of it. Like, you know, it's the only crypto coin that's been through like 3 or full bull and bear markets now, right? It's the OG, right? So, and when you look at the higher time frame on something like Bitcoin, it has that repetition. It has that market maturity over time. We can see it is maturing, and it is a coin that I think you can speculate a bit on. And, you know, as I said in the report, the stars need to align for my plan to sort of fall into place. But the way things are going, the way paths are crossing right now, and the similarities we see over and over again, time and time again, to prior cycles, it's almost too good to be true, right? Well, not too good to be true, but you have to take it with a little bit of pinch of salt. Like, I'm even honest about the fact that some of the stuff I probably wrote here was not a reach, but you know, like the dollar, for example. Yes, if the dollar locks in a trend under 107, then we basically mirror what happened in 2017, what mirrored in 2020, and then also what is like going to happen if it does the same thing. But, you know, there's other parts to the story that we need to consider, like obviously with Trump in office, tariffs, the Fed, like rate hikes and things like that this year, interest rates. Like, we have to consider that. Like, it's all well and true doing TA, but we do have to consider the bigger picture of like global economy and US economy, right? So don't get me wrong. Like, as much as I might seem like, if you read this and you thought I was like a brain dead bull, like, it can seem like that, but also at the same time I'm logical about these things. Like, I'm not trying to write this for rage bait, right? Like, I'm not, like, me saying that my target from here is 160 to 200k, with that being a 900% to 1100% increase from the cycle lows. Like, that's not rage baiting. That's me being completely honest and like realistic target to what this cycle can have in store for us, right? And I'll go over that today. So yeah, we'll talk a bit about Bitcoin today, and then it will lead me on to the report and sort of where the report started, which was talking about the market in the present day. Obviously, we're still in range. Pretty bad PA on the front of Bitcoin. I'm not really too fussed in trading this. I've been pretty open and vocal about the outlook for Bitcoin over the next couple weeks. And basically, I want to buy anywhere from 92k to as low as 82. Given that like 82 is basically my this is my must hold level for bulls, right? If price fails to hold here, I think on the higher time frame, I think we could be in for a cycle top. Like that's kind of like my bullish invalidation line is like 82k. If we start to like break under 82k, right? If we're like ranging, we continue ranging, and then eventually we sweep, and we get stuck under 82k. I think probably we can assume the cycle has topped. But until 82k is lost, for me, I think we can resume higher for the rest of the year. So we're in range and we're used to these ranges. It has been very profitable for Bitcoin if you just buy into range low. Like once the range has formed, and obviously over time the range can shift, right? If we go back and look at like the range from summer, obviously initially the range low started as around 60k, and then over summer as price action develops, obviously you adjust the range depending on how the price develops, and then over time we sort of got a range low of around 57k. But equally that was 3k lower than it was initially formed at. So with that in mind, we look at the range we're in now, and we assume that range low should continue to hold, and at least if we do trade under 90k, at least if we do trade under 90k, we can look at scooping up spot and having an even better discount than if we were to try and buy at 92, right? But we can buy all the way down to 82, and that's because of sort of this higher time frame value side of things, right? 100k is a pretty important level for BTC. We do need to get back above there to have a chance of breaking out again, and then obviously even from there we're back at range high. So it's like 100 to 105 we need to break above. But we had going into January, like end of Jan and February, we had this break above 100k and above the 2024 value area high, which I've discussed a lot, but this can be used as a pretty good trend for us. We know that in Q4 of last year, Bitcoin traded very well, right? Going into Q4, obviously we bottomed in November with the win of Trump presidency. And then again, what we had going into end of Jan, we had this rally into the Trump inauguration, which was followed by a small range, which was heavily moved by news, right? I think this week following the Trump inauguration, a lot of people expected larger crypto news than the stuff that was being announced, especially a meme coin, right? I mean, the meme coin was launched on the Saturday or Sunday, and the inauguration was on the Monday. So what we've seen basically is a move up early Jan into the inauguration, followed by price action that was heavily moved by news outlets and people speculating on whether he was going to drop an SBR announcement or not, and then multiple other factors. And then since then, I think we basically got through that first week, and you can see into the weekend we dumped, and that's when we did see that flush. And I think that was because a lot of people who were speculating that we were going to get this big announcement early in the week, we eventually closed out of positions. And since then, now the market is pretty stale. We're now in this lower range and the lower half of our higher time frame range, and the market again is waiting for a spark. And for me, we need to see some sort of drop like personally, I can't say the lows in yet. I think on a lot of altcoins as well. I think we can revisit the wicks from February drop on altcoins, and this is just going to continue ranging and be low volatility, and we kind of need to see some sort of expansion out of this range, and whatever way it goes, it will probably lead to a trend. So like under sort of 94k, we probably go for a range low sweep, and then like above 100k, we probably go for like a range high sweep. But in the meantime, we just sort of look at playing outliers on altcoins, like at the IP trade this morning, and we look at trying to position in now for the next leg up, right? Whenever that's going to come, right? It's very hard to predict like when we're going to break out again, but I can assure you it's probably only going to come once we see some sort of market catalyst again, on whether that's related to US economy and the dollar, right? Or whether that's related to an SBR announcement. Many different things can lead to having interest for crypto participants again, and potentially lead large players to turn their head to risk on assets, right? So, the stars can really align for something like this, and if we start to trade under 107, along with a bullish Bitcoin and a bullish crypto market, potentially some news catalyst for us, then we can start to leg up again. But people are losing their heads again, and it really baffles me. Even though we've been through these conditions time and time again, that people will fall for the same things of trying to say when we're going to break out again, or saying the market's tops. Like, you can remember the amount of noise there was once we ranged. Like, this wasn't even the bad half of it. It was going into the back end of summer. People really lost their heads, but like, sentiment is awful, and rightly so, right? Large global players like Argentinian president, etc., rugging coins, right? Like, it's all getting pretty crazy, and it does scream top signals, not like cycle top signals, but it does scream, that the market probably needs to go lower. You take the Adam 22 launch yesterday. The guy literally launched and rugged the coin openly for like 100k or something. It's fucking sad, really. Like, a guy like that. I mean, not that he's got any like self-esteem anyway, or whatnot, but that's the sort of state of the market's in at the moment. People are just openly rugging, and like, it's not a good look. And this leads me on to the next thing about utility, which I've been very vocal on for the past few weeks now, ever since we sort of got this flush back in February. And I think it was needed. There was a lot of vaporware that was trading very well, or not necessarily well, but had the most interest, and puts me in the position of looking at real utility and safer assets for the next few months, right? Like, I think people that have been wrecked on these meme coins and vaporware, they're going to look at higher caps and coins that have held themselves very well. Like, you look at Litecoin, right, compared to a lot of like meme coins like Bonk and stuff. This was the ETH trade that we got stopped out on bottom, unfortunately. But like, you look at a lot of these coins. Obviously, Sol is taking a hit at the moment with everything that's happened this week. But like, Ondo held itself pretty well. Litecoin, Link all held itself pretty well. Doge not so much, but meme coins did get used and abused, and Aave and ADA both held themselves somewhat okay, but you need to zoom out and look at the higher time frame on these coins, like, compared to a lot of things. The higher time frames kind of remain intact for now. Like, the monthlies, they're looking okay, right? Long monthly wick. If we can bounce back off something like this, that would be really positive. But you would hope now, when we move into the next sort of leg up, that people turn their heads to real utility, I guess you could say, compared to coins like Chill Guy. Like, yeah. Like when you look at this, obviously since the February drop is it's even worse. But prior to the February drop, right, when you compare the likes of Chill Guy since December to, and then we go back to Litecoin, right? I mean, it speaks for itself. This was December or January, right? Since January, Litecoin's pretty much the same price. So, yeah, we I think people were expecting us to be ready to move up again too soon. It was the after the drop, you know, like I exited pretty apart from the stuff that already got stopped out on the drop. You know, I was looking for that flush to buy, and I managed to fill a bunch of spot. Some got stopped out, and some scaled into nicely and was in profit on. But I basically exited right as soon as you see an event like that big and prices don't recover very well. I know over the past 2 years we've, you know, bottoms have taken time compared to prior cycles. Like we do see bottoms form very slowly, like over time, like more like this rather than this nowadays on a lot of coins. We sort of see this rather than what we used to see. But after something as big as the liquidation cascade we did, you know, that should have been a market reset, and that should have been enough for people to hop back in and really have interest in the market again. And as soon as we started stalling and a lot of coins getting stuck below high time frame levels, then it was a clear outlook for me to start to exit and wait. And ever since I've pretty much been waiting for the next point to get in and just focusing on intraday. All right, let's read the chat. Sorry, I've been ignoring. FTX Bank. Yeah, so you've also got like Sol unlocks in March. Then you've got FTX repayments coming up, and then everything that's happened with Sol as of late, right? It's kind of been the main chain that people have been rugging on, which is not a good look. So there's reason for it being weak here. Yeah, I think anywhere like sub 150 to 120s looks good. People like selling into unlocks is no surprise. Do I use hard stop-ons? Yeah, I mean, most of the time I do, which was that like ETH. The Ethereum wick I deleted now, but I went to bed. I had spot fills and I went to bed and I literally got filled. I got stopped like all the way down here, annoyingly. My ETH buys. It's alright. I mean, it's done nothing since. I probably would have exited by now anyway, probably in less of a loss, but how's this looking? Just kind of want to see this continue to grow up. What's up with funding farming? I ate GLM on the other day, and my unrealized profit covered the stop loss already. It just showed profit without. I ate in GLM the other day, and my unrealized profit covered the stop loss already. It just showed profit. Well, yeah, because you get funding payouts, like James just said. Like funding got paid on IP and it nukes afterwards. I don't check so much like funding payouts, to be fair. I should probably check that more. I do look at funding, but not so much the payout side of things. I know Haas has been talking about it lately. All right, let's take a little look at the. Let's have a little look at the market report I wrote in high time frame. Unless you guys want me to talk about, if you guys have got any charts before I talk about this, you want me to look at. But as of right now, that IP trade is kind of the only thing I'm looking at. I was in S overnight and it just missed my take profit, unfortunately. Overnight and stopped us break even. Still kind of like this today. ACH has been pretty strong. What else was I looking at? That's pretty much it. There wasn't too many outliers today. For Litecoin, what am I at? Next to 100x? Yeah, man. If I knew I wouldn't be here, I'd all in. I'd be gone. Instead, I'm here trading intraday. For Litecoin, yeah. Litecoin, I want to get filled sub 110. Go to the market report I wrote. So the plan from the market report was to get filled down towards 110. I wrote the market report last week. 110 to 100 looks like a really nice place for Litecoin. Just for now, still in range. Kind of want to buy it, down towards range low. I think which we can get if Bitcoin goes to 92. Yeah, go give the market report the read. Nothing's changed since my plan there last week. Does that mean you can open a big position 1 minute before funding gets paid and then? Well, you obviously have taker and maker fees to consider as well, don't you? Yeah, Jip is recording the stream for me today because I'm on my Mac, and when I screen share and record on my Mac, I've only got a M2 chip Air, so it's not the best at recording. VVV, yeah, we can have a look. I haven't looked at this in a while. I was trading this quite a lot. Oh, I took one trade. Just trying to see the most history. I think this actually is it though. Mexi usually has a lot of history in. Like usually they get listed on Mexi kind of first. So. I was just saying with Sol that there's unlocks in March, and then also you have FTX repayments. Not that it has that much to do with Solana, but then obviously everything that's been going on Sol is it's kind of been the main platform where people have been rugging, which is again not a great look. I mean, Pump Fund was the fucking top for Sol, I think. Pump Fund was the last thing the market needed, man. I really wonder if how if things were a little bit different this year, whether we would still be trading as poorly as we have, like as in condition wise. I still think Sol would have, topped out where it did, even if Pump Fun hadn't launched. But sometimes the things just give that extra nudge, don't they? Mm. It's alright. I mean, there's not too much going on with this, to be honest. Just kind of in a range down here, really. Maybe if it had like a sweep into here. If it done like a little sweep on VVV and then reclaimed back into this range low, I think that could be a nice setup for a long. That'd be quite nice. I was looking at ZBCN this morning. I mean, yeah, people would always find like somewhere to gamble. Everyone's going to hype now, aren't they? People are just going to start using hype, which is probably why I think it was strong today, was it? Did it have news today? Oh, Jesus, what was that? Did it have news? Yeah, meme coins. There was, I mean, meme coin. Not meme coins. NFTs. NFTs were still PvP, but like you couldn't really get rugged on them unless it was your own fault. Like if you bought something, it's pretty much down to you. And if that NFT, what did we call them? Like when there was a collection, the collection. Like if that NFT collection went to zero, like there's not really much you could do because that was up to the community to decide how much that NFT was worth, right? But that was a good period of the cycle. So the market also liked the NFTs because NFTs had a bit of a effect on the market because people looked at NFTs and were like, "This is crypto related. This is positive." Like people looked at NFTs like this is the future of crypto, pretty much, right? They were saying like this is the next wave of crypto. This is the next step for crypto. So people were buying NFTs because it was a good gateway to crypto, and also the market liked that because it was bringing fresh people in. Yeah, exactly. You got into crypto with NFTs, so that's it. That was good. Whereas meme coins, it's not really bringing. I mean, it is, but everyone's losing money. Most people that join crypto to getting into meme coins are like they're just getting shafted. As dumb as NFTs were when you look at it in the bigger picture and how the prices they were going to, it was good for the market and the market liked it. But when you look back now and you see like some of the prices these NFTs were going for, you think like, what the fuck was going on? like it was starting. It was up major top signs. ACH, yeah, I was looking at ACH this morning. I'll look at what did you say? You said that was a coin I was looking at. ACH, and you also wanted to be. Let's see. Sorry, I'm useless at reading the chat today. Let me have a look. What was it? ZB and YGG for AA. How you did your volume bar, like this one on the right? I mean this one. Thank you for your training. Glad I have that effect, man. That's what I'm here for. Appreciate the words. GeForce. I've been. Funnily enough, I done a little stream last week talking about this. Let me find it, and I'll send you the link to the video. Someone was also wondering the same way how I use it and what it is, but it's called Visible Range. It's a volume profile. It's called Visible Range. This one. And pretty much it shows you the volume that's on the screen, so from when price enters the screen and then to the current market price. So you can read. You can watch that video, and I explain it a little bit. I also have a bunch of content on it, so if you want to read further on using it, let me know, and I can forward you that stuff, that material. I'm also going to be working with DAO to sort out some new content for the group over the next couple of weeks and month, which should be good. Going to be doing like a new like series, just starting from basics, because I done a poll a while ago, and the most voted for poll was just general basics of trading. So we'll be going over like the basics of simple things like setting up an account to opening a trade, then like simple entry level charting, like drawing SR levels, using the long and short position tool correctly, things like that, right? Risk management, obviously. But I think, the group's lacking a lot of like basic entry level trading stuff, because obviously I do a lot of content, but I think the content I push out, you need some basic understanding of trading, and I don't think the group has a very good collection of that. Like usually if someone asks me some basic entry level trading stuff, I point them in the direction of Cred's course, right? So we need something in-house, basically. So we're going to be working on that. So looking forward to that, especially at the moment with the slow market. It's a good time to do it. AA, I can't see too much with YGG, mate, to be honest. Is it moving? Oh, nice. How much are we up? 6% move so far. Come on, give us this big scam. move did we get? Just 6%. Be good if this can give a little scam on stream. Yeah, it's at range lows here. It's not bad, realistically, right? Like it's not on an awful. It's not an awful looking chart. Like it's when you have also on the right here, you can see the higher time frame point of control. So if I put point of control in this chart, you'll see it's where I just marked. Yeah. So here. So what you have is kind of the most traded volume on the chart is where this point of control is, and a lot of the time, if you get a retest of this like high volume node POC, it can act as a reversal. So it's not a bad place to look for a reversal on it. But right now, for me, I'm not too interested in chasing like lagging coins. Right? We're looking at trading coins like IP for now. Right? Strong intraday coins that have trended well. And they're showing like some sort of outlier in the market. The only struggle I have is when to go stop. So I think this is something I want to talk about in the course as well, is the idea of moving stop to break even. It's like a very grey area, and you know when you get into trading, especially in the group, you know, we especially look out for people's people's money, right? Like we think, I mean, deep down, I think if you were making trades and you weren't thinking about the outcome of other people's funds, then you're a bit of a psychopath, you know. But obviously I have some sort of attachment towards, if I take a loss, then I know other people around me have taken a loss as well, which is, you know, sometimes hard to come by. But moving stop break even is a grey area, because just because the trade has moved up, it doesn't mean that the trade is invalidated, right? So let's say we got this 6% pop and it came back down to entry. For me, it's not invalidated, right? Because overall, my invalidation is where it is. The trend looks strong for now. The M5 EMA has held well. My invalidation is below the M30 EMA 21. Overall, it looks like it could continue to break out here, right? I would move my stop break even if it popped here and we took TP1, right? Because for me, I'm comfortable with some gains, and then maybe it can continue from there. If it took my TP1 and then came back down to entry and I didn't move stop and it eventually stopped me out, then you know that would be stupid to round trip profits and then also take a loss on it, right? But I can tell you, many of you here have many times have seen price pop. You've moved your stop break even, it's come back down to entry, and then it's just gone again, right? And that's simply because your trade was never invalidated, right? You moved your stop break even to go risk free, but sometimes it's actually negative EV to move your stop to break even. And of course, like, this is me saying this, and I've had a 5-6% to 10% pop on a trade before, didn't move my stop break even, and it's because my trade was never invalidated and it's gone through to my stop, right? But I think as long as you stick to your setup and you know an exit strategy and you know a routine you're going to take with that trade, then so be it. If this pops now 6% and it went back below the EMA 21, which is kind of my invalidation, right? If it done this, then I would probably exit the position and take a loss on it, right? It seems stupid because we were up 6% on it at one point. But overall, my trade is, just because this has gone up 6%, that doesn't mean my whole idea of the trade is invalidated, right? And it's happened to me many times before where prices popped, stops at break even, then it's gone again. So, and that's ever since my am trade from the other week, which is now, the chart is now completely cooked. I was looking at it yesterday, and now it's getting delisted on Bybit as well. This was different though because I moved my stop break even because of POW, or I cut it like 1% under because of POW. But really, the trade was never invalidated. Yeah, I think the POW talking was in the back of my head. The whole CPI, PPI, everything was going on that week was in the back of my head, and the market was really choppy. But overall, let's say we got that small pop here off my entry. I moved my stop break even. It came back down. At no point was my trade invalidated. My validation was under here. So it would have gone, popped, come back down. It would have gone underwater, but my trade was still not invalidated. And then it pops, right? It takes your entry, then it goes, right? So, but let's see here. That's just some thoughts on moving stop break even. I think it's in times like this with choppy conditions, maybe sometimes it's best to move your stop break even. But for me, 1%, 1.5% risk. It's my trade of the day that I have confidence with, and it's not invalidated yet, so I won't move my stop on entry. Knowing this market right now, all this talk is now going to come and bite me in the ass, but we'll see. It'll be karma. And then also taking partials sometimes as well. Like that's a whole other ball game. Is like when your trade goes up, right, and you're taking what 1, 2, like maybe you're taking like 3, 4 times you take profit on the way up, right? And obviously, maybe this was a 30% move, right? So in your head, you've said you've captured 30% from your initial entry, but that's not the case because let's say every time you take 25%, right? So you take 25% at TP1, and then you take 25% at TP2, right? So let's say you had your initial entry was like 100 contracts, right? Yeah. Then you take 25% at TP1, right? You're down to 75 contracts for that position, right? So even though price then moves another 12%, I mean, I'm terrible at maths, so maybe this isn't going to work, but yeah, you're diminishing returns as you take profit on the way up, right? And that's not me saying you shouldn't take profit at all and you should just always target your full TP, but you should be reactive. Like for example, my first TP is 2-2, and I will take profits here. But probably if we flip 2-2, I kind of want to just see this go to my take profit at that point. But yeah, there's a time and place to take profit. And I have, again, there's a really good post on this. If I can find it, let me see. I didn't get around to talking about the actual market report today, but I think we had a good stream anyway. I'm going to do a full video on it next week, talking about my high time frame thoughts. What chart were we looking at? Yeah, but I'll find that right up on turns. Maybe it's in my archive channel. Might be in my archive, my old corner. I've probably got it pinned somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, I found it. Where are you guys? Read this. It's a pretty interesting post. What's it give you a? You will see sometimes that I take small profits to cover fees as well. Although I need to get a habit of doing that every time. That can come in handy, right? Because obviously, let's say you do get stopped at break even. It depends, right? If you move your stop to entry, a lot of the time, if I move my stop to entry, it depends on market conditions and other factors, but I will tend to take small profits to cover fees because you get a fee for entering the trade most of the time. You get a fee for exiting the trade most of the time as well. And obviously you've got funding on top of that as well. So let's see. I'm popping out for lunch shortly. So I'll probably have to manage this whilst I'm at, but we'll have to head off in a minute. Yeah, I didn't get around to talking about my report, unfortunately. But I'm going to do a full stream on this, full YouTube video on this next week. Oh. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll look at these before I head off. ACH. Let's see. Yeah, again, nice funding, strong bid, walking it up. Since buy signal, I haven't really got a test of that M30 EMA. Momentum is a little bit cooked on it though. That's the only downside to it right now. Maybe a little retracement, like maybe as low as the 89. I'm not sure. That could reset momentum, and then it goes again. Kind of below res here as well. Had a nice bounce, but it's kind of under res here. I probably wouldn't chase this, to be honest. The only longs I'm chasing right now are these ones with like big gaps above, right? Likes of my S trade as well. Right, big gap above, pretty much. ZBCN. I was looking at this morning. I don't know why I didn't. So this is kind of interesting. Only thing is that you've got this daily supply here, but it has been rejected already like 3 times now. But yeah, pretty nice price action. But yeah, range high. Where did gap up to? Yeah, a bit of a gap above. Like if it does continue here, like maybe a 30% move. currently below that M30 EMA 21. So I would want to see a flip of the M5, EMA 21 and 89, and also a flip of this M30 EMA 21. So maybe if it sort of flipped here and had some nice structure, you could look for some continuation on it. Like if it deviates here and gives a good flip of those EMAs, maybe it can leg up to like 0.19. How's the flow looking on this? Yeah, massive negative funding. So yeah, maybe a little reclaim above there. With the EMA flips, could be nice. We're gonna want to see this continue, otherwise it's gonna slam back down. Crazy. Why build up on it now? Funding. See what I mean? Like what happened back here? Starts to stall. So let's see. I got to pop out for lunch, but I'll still manage it. AVAX, alright, we'll do AVAX and then I gotta go. Not bad weekly, monthly level here. I know the bounce isn't convincing really. Bit of a range forming. Range low here, not bad. Probably like build into that if it done that. I think it would probably about bottom like one more sweep into there. Started a spot position with Tex. Yeah, I mean from here, like I could see it bottoming anywhere from like here to 21 realistically. Bitcoin moving up. Doesn't look too bad, yeah. But also now Tex is on a position I'm not going to sit here and say it looks awful. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, we got 2 hours till New York Open, so I'll be back for then. So I'm going out for some lunch now, and then I'll be back for New York Open. But yeah, sorry, I didn't get to talk about the market report too much, but I think we discussed some nice topics today, and Jip's recorded, so you can send that in. Yeah, next week I will do a video on this, YouTube video on this. I'll be all moved into my new place by then, so should be able to do a video on this. And tomorrow market report, so if you haven't voted, go vote for the market report. All right, thanks everyone. See ya, have a good day. Bye bye.